Welcome back to Nick Lenz Comic Corner, classic, less known classic. It's episode number 27, 28, 97. That was number 27, 91. Now we have two Marvel trades of two miniseries that came out the last several years. This first one has a bit of a controversy around this one. We have History of the Marvel Universe. Yeah, it's a retelling of Marvel's over the years by Mark Waid. It's a great entry point to Marvel Comics, mind you. Yeah, read by Mark Waid, artwork by Javier Rodriguez. I mean, everything is good with this book except for one particular. I do agree with this opinion here. You see, what they do when they get to Vietnam, they change the name of the war to the Saigon War, and it was done in a different country. I'm like, what? And by the way, they changed where Punisher is a Saigon War veteran. It's Vietnam, not Saigon. Like Saigon. And they explored this in the Marvel series by Kurt Busiek. But the book series is good. Aside from that one thing, I wouldn't give this a 10 because the book was so good. But because of that little retcon, I give it a 9.5. Yep. But overall, great book. Next up we have is Contagion. This actually is now a book purchased from Comic-Con. I'm trying to think here. I have some stuff I got from Comic-Con. I have... Okay, this... But this one I have one more left. So, this is 5 issues written by Ed Bronson. It's basically kind of like basically a virus unleashed Marvel Comic universe. And this was released in 2019. You're like, thank God this book wasn't released in 2020. That would have been really poor timing on Marvel's part. So it's a book like this when there was a real life pandemic going on. Now there's no pandemic. So it's only 5 issues, believe it or not, and it's written by Ed Bronson. So the story is that this weird virus turned people into these weird creatures, and the Fantastic Four are the primary focus characters of this book. And we get to be affected by this thing, and it's up to Reed and Sue to basically solve the problem. Raga Anto does the artwork for issue 1. Stuff and stuff with this 2 through 3, with 3 done by Mark Castor. 4 is Dalman Kessler, and the last issue is by Adam Gorham. Not sure why they kept swapping artists for. The cover is done by Juan Jose Rap and Jesus Abreu. Yeah, basically, there's also Iron Fist here with New Thunder, who was the daughter of the original one. If you're curious, what happened to the original Thunder? Why is this one here? Her father was murdered in the Iron Fist Lethal Weapon series in the opening issue. Yeah, you discovered when his head was decapitated. Yeah. And by the way, the thing gets a lot of focus in this book. I do mean a lot of focus. And of course, we have the Fantastic Four in their... I believe this is the costume they start wearing when Dan Slott wrote the book. Yes, because when Robinson wrote the book, basically, it was, well, a different red. Yeah. Yeah, it was infection. Everyone's getting infected. And Iron Fist has evolved too. And he gets up, like, he looks aside, he's like, oh crap, where's my lover? Like, whatever. Yeah, and then, of course, like, then Thunder shows up at their doorstep, and of course, you have, well, the Thing carrying the members of Fantastic Four. And apparently, the whole virus comes from exclusively the Kunlun. Now, you're probably thinking, why is the Thing affected? Well, I think the reason why because he's got rocky skin. That's the reason why he's completely immune to this. And then, of course, Luke Cage gets a phone call. And then, of course, you have Doctor Strange brought in because, well, he is a doctor. He's a trained doctor and basically, look at this. We have more people get infected by it. Thor appears here too, wearing his... now this is probably for Thor. I'm thinking about looking at this attire here. This is just before... I would say from Thor's perspective, this is just before the start of Donny Coates' run, because this was his look post Jason Aaron. But by the time that Donny Coates took over the book, he completely changed his look. Whereas I got restored thanks to Harold Galactus, and he got a new arm. So I would say this is post-War Realms, but before the start of Donny Costa. That's where you can place this when it comes to him. And of course, the Cloak and Dagger involved too. Yeah. But overall, really fun book. I like the fact that it's kept pretty much in tone. And for some reason, they have this lab inside Second Territory, which I think that's kind of weird because an Iron Man gets a call in too. Now, Iron Man, in case you're curious, though, what armor is he wearing? Whatever armor whatever comic he was wearing. I think it was probably, but look at the armor. Let's see, 2019. It could be this armor he was wearing when Slott wrote the book for him. Possibly, yes. And of course, you have Jessica working with Thunder. Of course, Luke Cage gets affected. And then, this is really cool. So, they summon a few street level heroes. We summon White Tiger, Elektra, Black Tarantula, and the Punisher. My guess is Punisher, based upon this point in time this book came out. I think this was set when Matthew. I think it may came out when Matthew Rosner was writing the Punisher book. Elektra, well, that's her outfit she had. Now she's Daredevil now. And Moon Knight's here too. He's not wearing the Jed McKay attire because this is before Jed McKay took over the book. So I guess Moon Knight, it's probably post Max Premise, who was writing the book at the time. So it's probably after that book ended. That's probably when the book's set. And of course, the Wrecking Crew gets involved in this too. It was I noticed because I remember this stuff right away when it comes to basically like I can kind of guess exactly when this stuff is placed. Yeah, and then we have looks like Dr. Trude here too. I think it's Dr. Trude. The second one, it's not Sebastian Trude, no. It's some other guy here who's Hispanic. It could be Anthony Drude possibly, but why has he got a beard? And here's something really weird about Anthony Drude. Like, toward the end of Secret Warriors, he lost a ton of weight. And then for some reason, next time he showed up, all the weight returned. No explanation for it. And of course, the whole city gets affected with this whole virus thing. And eventually they're cured. It's pretty much wrapped up pretty quickly. Like, very quickly. And the only way to get rid of this virus is separate the urchin from the host. That was simply it. And they have been giving me a smoke in the head, and that's it. Yeah, you're probably thinking, how would I know Slott was writing this period of time? Well, he wrote it from 2018 to about, I think it was like 2021, I think it was? No. Yeah, no, 2022. He wrote for a few years, but he had an excellent run in the book. I love Slott's run with the book. So, I like the fact you have The Thing, Iron Fist, where they play roles. In case you're curious, though, like, some might think, okay, did Iron Fist have a book this period of time? I mean, it only was 5 years ago. Off the top of my head, no. His book got canceled a year prior. Though, this is before they got that new Iron Fist book where it featured a brand new Iron Fist. So, it's still Danny Rand, yes. Now, what book was featured prior to this one? Like, was he featured in the ongoing series? Danny, it wasn't Avengers. They did feature Avengers Mountain a lot in this book. They did. So, in the case, Avengers is definitely during Aaron's run. But this is probably the best place to set this is during a period of time after events of War of the Realms, but before Donny Coates takes over the book. Yes, because of Thor's look here. Yes, that's the best way to place it. Mm-hmm. Spider-Man, he plays a very minor role in this miniseries. And one thing that's appreciated with this miniseries, It doesn't spread to Marvel Comics. It's only this one miniseries. Which, thank God, it seems like events like this, they have to have spread out all over the entire freaking company. Yes. And I think another reason why they didn't do that. The reason why they didn't do that when this miniseries came, why did they do another one? Because they had just did War of the Realms. They had just wrapped up. So that's probably the reason why they didn't do that. That's my guess anyways. But yeah, so that's pretty much it, particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe to notifications. Doing this, I give Contagion a 9 out of 10. Actually, I give it a 9.5. It was excellent. Nothing really wrong with it per se. And by the way, Punisher is real Punisher, not whatever Jason came up with during the Punisher King of Killers book. Yep. So that's a particular view. So next up, more Demon Retry. Okay, next view. Bye.